having way too many Warrior Cats books comes with having way too many Warrior Cats illustrators, and that comes with me having way too many opinions. So I decided to make a video so I can yap about my opinions. I'm going to start with the American Warrior Cats artists, and then I'll cover the foreign ones at the end. But since I live in America, the American ones are most relevant to me, so that's mostly what I'm going to be going over. I'm starting with Tiger Star and Sasha since the full color recently came out. The original black and white version is by Don Hudson, who I fear doesn't really seem to know how to draw cats. From what I've seen from him, he works on mostly Marvel, so he's drawing humans most of the time. But as you can see, the cats in his art style look very strange. I don't know who this cat is, but his anatomy is very curious. He looks a bit globular. And then, I mean, in this frame, Tiger Star is described as being big and handsome, but he looks a little bit like a toy you get from the dollar store. But one thing I do love about his art is that he gives Tiger Star these funny eyebrows. I love funny eyebrow Tiger Star. I saw a picture of Don Hudson working on his art, and he looks so happy. He looks so genuinely proud. Like, I cannot hate on him. It's not his fault that they picked him to work on a cat book when he draws humans, and his human drawings are actually really good. The recoloring was done by Danielle Weirs? I don't know how to pronounce that. And the only differences there are Hawkpaw is slightly recolored to match his design better. Like, you can see he doesn't have these stripes. And then Tiger Star is also a little bit recolored. They did a very good job with coloring, but not much to say. Next, I'm gonna go on to Rise of Scourge, because we're talking about mangas already. And I love the Rise of Scourge art style. Bettina Krakowski, who was the original artist of the black and white version, ate up, okay? I think that it has such a manga-like feel. I love how the panels are laid out. I love the detail in the background. I love the art style. It's very good. And I think I honestly like it a little bit more than the full color version, probably because that's just the one I read when I was a kid. The full color version is super awesome. The only things that I saw that changed were some design changes, like for instance, Thistleclaw's colors are a little bit different, Tiger Paw's stripes are a little bit different, and there's actually another official recoloring of Rise of Scourge, but we're gonna get to that later. The one thing I do like about Rise of Scourge a lot is that they made Blue Star look like an absolute diva. In fact, it was so moving to me that I had to draw it. So yes, this is my Blue Star diva, and then this is from the book. After Rise of Scourge and after Tiger Star and Sasha, James Barry took over as the graphic novel artist, and I love his style so much. He also follows me on Instagram, which is very cool, and I feel very honored for that. But this is one of his earlier works. This is in Gray Stripes Adventure. I love his style. It's so recognizable. I love how all the cats have these funny little teeth that just like are just like floating on their lips. They look so silly. And I love how they all have their own like shapes. Like Gray Stripe is fluffy and Fireheart is not as fluffy, and I don't know, it's really good. And then this is from Sky Clan and the Stranger. I also love how his drawings are so expressive. Like Soul is just over here having a whole temper tantrum. He's so funny looking. And then I love how James Barry is able to stick to the canon designs of the characters. Like, this is Tawny Pelt from the first Ultimate Guide, and then this is James Barry Tawny Pelt. This is Soul from the first Ultimate Guide, and this is James Barry Soul. Like, he has the markings to a T. So, I have no complaints. And then as he goes on, his art just gets better and better. Like, you can't look at this and tell me it's not awesome. This cover is not gorgeous. He unfortunately retired, so no more of his art, but we do have more graphic novels coming up. These ones were released recently. They are a graphic novel adaptation of the first Warrior series, illustrated by Sarah and Natalie Reese? I don't know. I recently discovered while I was looking up these images that they're married, which I think is pretty cool. So anyway, I love the style. I love the character designs. I love the panel layout. I love how scenic it is. Like, you can't tell me this is not incredible. Like, it's so fun to read. And they didn't stray so much from the original storyline, but they did cut out some stuff, so they did great. I have no complaints. Well, maybe I do have some complaints. I feel like they over-stylized the characters a little bit. Like, Yellowfang looks a little funny, and then some of the characters' faces are a little elongated, and I'm like, looks weird. Maybe it's just because I'm used to seeing the warrior cats drawn in the very, like, same face warrior cats fandom style, but, you know. I also like how the story feels less old. For instance, Cinderpaw is not forced to be a medicine cat because of her disability. Instead, it's kind of her choice. And then Ravenpaw and Barley are just like, yeah, we're mates. There's no weird, like, well, the authors and the publishers said we can't call them mates, so we're gonna just subtly hint at it. Like, enough of that. Get with the times. And I love it. No complaints other than my little complaints because I'm a nitpick, but no complaints. Love it. And then for the next series, The New Prophecy, the graphic novel adaptation cover has been released and the artist has been announced, Sammy Savos, I don't know. What I think is really cool is that they read the Warrior Cats mangas when they were a kid, so it's really cool to have an artist working for Warriors who already kind of is familiar with the series. That's super cool. I love their art style so much. Honestly, it looks kind of similar to the former art style, so it's not going to be too big of a change. One thing I do have issue with is, like, this is Squirrel Paw? That does not look like Squirrel Paw to me. Squirrel Paw is like solid ginger, but maybe that's just because I look at too much fan art. But I don't know. Their style is super cute. 10 out of 10. And then we have Wayne McLoughlin, probably my favorite Warrior Cats artist. I mean, everything is perfect. Everything is gorgeous. The scenery, the cats. I I look at Wayne McLoughlin art and tears well in my eyes in amazement because I love it so much. This is from one of the covers of, I think, one of the first series books. This is Mothwing and Willowshine. I don't know what this is. Leastar, maybe? But yeah, so good. Unfortunately, Wayne McLoughlin passed away. And we have a new cover artist called Owen Richardson. Now, this is Wayne McLaughlin's cover for Blue Star's Prophecy. She is blue. She is a slender, short-furred she-cat. She is as I imagine her. And then this is Owen Richardson's Blue Star's Prophecy cover. Why is she gray? Why does she look like that? It's like, ugh. And Owen Richardson redid all the covers for Warriors. So, like, let's compare Wayne McLoughlin Brightheart with Owen Richardson Brightheart. She looks fierce. She looks awesome. I don't see any shading issues. Yeah, her eyes are wrong color, but it's Warrior Cats. Everyone's eyes are wrong color. It's like, she has, like, no facial expression. Anatomy looks kind of funny. Cloudtail is, like, shaded in black. It doesn't look as nice and realistic, if that makes sense. It doesn't look as advanced. And then, like, on the most recent cover, Storm Clan's Folly, which was illustrated by Owen Richardson, you know, this cat looks very well drawn, but this cat, who I think is Gale Star, like, her eyes are not lined up correctly, the shading is strange, it feels airbrushed, like, they don't really match in the level of rendering. It's like, everything just stands out as strange, and he copies poses a lot too. Like, I feel like there's not a lot of creativity. You can't tell me these are not the exact same cat. And his lighting and shading is so harsh. He only shades with black. It's either super black or super bright. And then the details of the character are just lost to the shading and the lighting. I'm not a fan. I mean, I'm being so critical right now, but I can't hate on him. I could never draw as well as he does. And he does have some really cool covers, and I'm being a nitpick, but, you know, he's trying his best. He's cool. But one thing I also don't like is that even in his good drawings, he kind of fails to respect the original designs of the characters. Like, this is Tawny Pelt in the original Ultimate Guide. This is Tawny Pelt in James Barrie's, I don't actually know which book this is from. And then this is Tawny Pelt according to Owen Richardson. The design is not the same at all. Inside the books, there are maps, there are little drawings at the top of each chapter. I'm not going to talk about them too much. I honestly don't know who drew them. The maps are gorgeous, they're so detailed. Only one thing is that in the newer books, they changed the clan symbols, and now they look kind of funny, like, what's going on with Shadow Clan? I prefer the old ones, but whatever, it's fine. So now I'm going to talk about foreign Warrior Cats art. Starting with art that appears inside the books, in China there seems to be little comics that are sprinkled throughout the main series books, and I think it's super cool. I love the art styles. Evidently, it looks like there are many different artists who are responsible for these comics, but my favorite is this one. It's probably the best art ever for warrior cats, I say, even though I probably said that like 4 times already in this video. But it feels so much like the fan art. I mean, you can just tell that squirrel paw, even that it's in black and white. Like, her tail is so fluffy. I love it. Why don't we have this in America, please? One other thing in Chinese warrior cats is, for some reason, Rise of Scourge and Tiger Star and Sasha have different colorists. Like, you can tell the difference in Thistleclaw's coloring and Tiger Paw's stripes. I don't know why it's like that. And then this is the Tiger Star and Sasha recoloring in China. I think it's so much better. Like, they fixed the anatomy. The lighting is gorgeous. Why don't we have this in America? He still has his eyebrows, but he looks like an actual cat. And then in Russia, in what seems to be random points in the earlier super editions, there are little pictures. I don't know who illustrated them, but the style is evidently very strange. However, I'm not hating on it. I feel like it's not strange because this artist doesn't know how to draw cats, but it's strange because this artist is being creative and being fun. Obviously, I would not want all of Warrior Cat's art to look like this, but every so often, a little silly, funny art. I like it. And then in other countries, on the outside of Warriors books, the covers are often different. I don't really know why that's the case. I do own 2 foreign covers. One I got in Colombia. It's just like a photoshopped image of a cat. And then one my mother actually found being sold at the library for really cheap. It's from the UK. I find it very interesting that instead of being called Warriors, as it's called in America, it's called Warrior Cats. I don't know why they chose to change that. But yeah, the covers that I feel like get the most attention from the fandom are the Polish covers, and I see why, because they are awesome. Like, look at Scourge, look at Rock. His color is purple, which is already a sign that it's going to be good. But the details are so gorgeous. I feel like there's 2 types of Polish covers. There's the cat's head floating in the sky with a pretty scene, which I like, but then there's like the moment from a book cover, which I think are gorgeous. Like, Yellowfang Secret in Poland has this cover. It's so scenic. Into the Wild. It's so scenic. I'm becoming quiet right now because I have no words, because they're just so good. And then, oh yeah, and then Rise of Scourge has this color. It looks like they kind of took ideas from the American cover, but it's I love it. Like, I no complaints. Like, can you please get this on my wall as like a full-sized wallpaper? Like. And then we have the Warrior Cats merchandise art. I don't even know if you can call it art, because it just looks like someone traced over the Warrior Cats minifigurines, and then we're like, you can buy this as an image on a shirt with some very low effort text. No one wants that. I mean, the clan symbol shirts are kind of cute, but they're still not remarkable. Like, can you get some fans to design your merch for you? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, that's the end.